What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything you need to know about and what's going on here in our country on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, inflation and recession, the fourth stimulus package, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. In this video, we got a lot to talk about here. There are new $750 checks that are now finally approved and are going to be going out to hundreds of thousands of people. I'll show it to you directly here on the screen. And another stimulus measure that is going to potentially help tens of millions of people here. We'll be talking about a lot here in this video, so let's jump right in. First up, the EU, the European Union, is set to propose a Russian oil embargo. This is very major because this we'll have to see, but this could send oil prices and gas prices spiking higher, even though we don't buy any Russian oil. Remember, oil is traded here globally. And if this sends oil prices spiking, this could send our gas prices spiking here as well. You can see here, Putin ally, the country of Hungary, pushes back and says it makes no sense. But, well, if you're Putin's ally, I wasn't quite aware that the country of Hungary was Putin's ally. But apparently they need uh, Russia's oil. A lot of country needs Russia's oil, but yeah, the longer this war goes on, the more and more sanctions are being put on Russia. Russia has already announced, actually, here several days ago, from Poland and Bulgaria. So you can see here, tensions are getting high. Russia cuts off oil and gas to Poland and Bulgaria. And yeah, you can see here. So Russia's already kind of cut themselves off, and the EU is now considering doing it for all of the EU. And the question here is, can countries like Germany and other countries that are much, much more reliant, can they even withstand this? There's been reports that massive countries like Germany could have rolling blackouts if 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 they were just cut off from Russian oil, or if the EU decides to cut themselves off from Russian oil. So remember that Russia is the number one supplier of oil to Europe. The United States, which is the number one oil producer in the world, believe it or not, Russia and Saudi Arabia are actually number two and number three for the world. The United States is actually number one. The United States already exports about 30 to 40% of its oil to other countries in the world, believe it or not. A lot of people don't realize that. We've been doing that for many, many years. The Biden administration, through the Trump administration, and for many, many years, a lot of people don't realize that. So the problem here is that the major oil companies, Shell, BP, Exxon, Chevron, they all just announced that they were not going to increase production. They were not going to increase supply. Yeah, that's the problem here. So even with all this political turmoil, those companies are out for number one. They're out for themselves. They're out to make those billions and billions of dollars in profits. They're not out for you and I. They're not out for the little guys. They're not out for the people. No matter what they try to tell you, it's all double talk. They're out for themselves. They're out for them shareholders. They're out for their profits. But if Europe ultimately does decide to cut off Russian oil, like the US did, because ultimately it's a tough decision to do, but you got to stop funding Russia. But it's going to be really tough for Europe because massive parts of countries could literally be under blackout. I mean, imagine if like the US did that, just to give you an example. I know I'm going to get comments from people saying, "Why haven't they done it already?" But imagine, for example, like Germany. Imagine if this was the US, and imagine if we decided to do that. But imagine we're Germany, for example. Imagine if half the country went under blackout. Imagine if you just lost your power instantly because of this decision. Imagine if you had no heat in the wintertime. Imagine if you had no power in the wintertime. Now I know it's we're going into summer here, but you got to kind of understand what this decision will mean potentially. We'll have to see how bad it will be. But this is not a light decision. It's going to be a little bit different for each country there. They've had some time to try to figure this out, where they're going to get oil from, where they're going to try to get some alternate energy supply, but they haven't had that much time. Let's be realistic. It's only been couple months maybe. So, but you can see here, the European Union is gearing up to propose a full Russian oil embargo, but Hungary has threatened to block it. Since decisions require unanimous consent, it makes no sense for the Commission to propose sanctions affecting natural gas and crude that would restrict Hungary procurements. But that doesn't mean they can't get it done. We'll see if they can. The EU could propose on Tuesday a Russian oil embargo that would be phased in over the coming months. This moves towards a full ban on Russian oil come after Germany has agreed to a phased-in embargo after previously being hesitant. Quote, every single dollar a country is paying for Russian oil is funding the war in Ukraine. By cutting off those revenues, the goal is to ultimately cut off Russia's ability to continue this war. In the event that an embargo does pass, it would crater Russia's economy even further and could send it spiraling into a depression, an oil analyst told Business Insider earlier. Yeah, economists and analysts say that the vast majority of Russia's economy or governments and money coming in is based on oil and energy. And if massive countries like Europe and the EU say, we're not buying it no more, think about all the companies like, McDonald's and massive corporations have just literally just pulled out of that. Imagine if countries just say, stop buying oil. And once massive countries start doing that, it puts pressures on all the countries to stop doing that. This could be a way to end the war. Could be. There's also, we covered this in a previous video, Vladimir Putin could be reportedly, because it's hard to get information out of Russia, right? It's not like Vladimir Putin's, giving us information, but he could be going under cancer operation and handing over control to another Russian general. So while he's literally under for this operation, and you never know what could happen while he's in this operation. So we'll have to see. I'll keep you updated. Next up, as you can see here, a bill signed clearing the way for $750 frontline worker checks for about 600,000 people. Here is the details here directly from a news station. Check this out.
Debate at the state capitol. Lawmakers. After months of debate at the state capitol, lawmakers finally pushed through bonus checks for frontline workers during the pandemic. The bill has been signed, but today a celebration. Our Pauline Lee is live at the state capitol for the ceremonial bill signing. Hi, Pauline.
Hey, good morning, Shayla. Yeah, more than 600,000 workers can soon apply to get a one-time, roughly $750 payout from the state. That's for working on the front lines during the pandemic. And the state is hoping to get those checks out in roughly 10 to 12 weeks. That's something new that we learned this morning at the ceremonial signing. Now, this has been a long time coming. This was first introduced last July. And now, nearly a year later, those estimated $750 checks, it's roughly double what it was initially proposed at. These checks will, again, go to the frontline workers. That's those people working in healthcare, childcare, food service, public transport, among other fields. Frontline workers and local businesses who were here at today's signing ceremony, they say it's a good first step.
That equals a month's rent. That equals groceries. That's money that can be put back into their savings accounts. So it is important. And I do thank you over and over again for coming together with this. But we still have work to do.
Now, the state is aiming to get that online application portal up and running in a few weeks or so. And once that happens, you'll have 45 days to apply.
Yeah, so again, those are $750 frontline worker checks for about 600,000 people in the state of Minnesota. It took them a long time to get them done for some God knows reason, but they did get it done. So you can see it directly here from CBS Minnesota. So nonetheless, they got it done. Checks are going to be going out now, but you do have to apply. You do have to apply. So if you know anybody or if you're from Minnesota and you do think you apply, please Google the program and apply so that you can get that check. Because again, $750 is $750, and hey, it's money that you can definitely use. Next up, as you can see here directly from Yahoo News, Biden wants to authorize a huge new stimulus effort, but it's not what you think. As well, really, they're working on a bunch of different stimulus type programs. And if you've been watching my show, we're trying to cover all of them. I mean, really, just like that $750 check there was a kind of a hazard pay for the state of Minnesota. I'm trying to cover as many states as I can. Gas stimulus relief. They're pausing state taxes. They're doing grocery tax relief and property tax relief, rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance. I just did a video on senior food program relief. That's a really good video. All sorts of different things here. But another thing I'm really trying to cover as many programs as I can. But really, a really big one here that's going to probably be coming out here is student loan forgiveness. This is for over 40 million people, and there could be other types of debt forgiveness coming here after this. You can see here directly from Yahoo, according to sources with knowledge of the president's thinking who spoke to Bloomberg, Biden is leading towards using executive action to forgive at least $10,000 in student loan debt per borrower. That's correct. $10,000 in student loan debt per borrower he's going to forgive via executive order or executive action. This is partly because he feels Congress has left him no choice. Yeah, so I think that they wanted to do this through Congress, but it was to do that they would have needed 60 votes in the Senate, and that would have meant they needed 10 Republican votes. uh, it's just, I mean, there was almost no way that was going to happen. The Republicans were just not going to hand that to Biden and give him 10 votes for that. It's just, yeah. So, and I'm not choosing sides here. It's just, let's be realistic here. So, this is just the only way to do it. So, Biden kind of campaigned on this, and I think that they've just kind of now realized that Republicans weren't going to do this. So, the only way to get this done is to do it through executive order. So, Biden had just gave I don't want to say a speech. Yeah, I guess it was a speech. It was through a speech where he commented here just a few days ago and basically said something along the lines of, yes, he's going to be giving an official statement. Well, he didn't give an official statement, but he basically said he's going to be doing something here, and it won't be $50,000. And according to two sources, they think it's going to be $10,000 or something along those lines. But the executive action here on student loan forgiveness is very likely here. And there's been some couple insider sources here that have come out here and said, yeah, it's very, very possible here. And I also think there that coming after this, I think there's going to be a lot of potential for other types of debt forgiveness. Senator Bernie Sanders has advocated for medical debt forgiveness because medical debt forgiveness, or medical debt, I should say, in other countries isn't even a thing. Medical debt in the US is largely only a US problem. And I don't want to say only because there's some other countries that have medical debt, but it's kind of, the US is one of the only countries that even has medical debt. There's a couple other countries that have it, but a lot of other countries, healthcare is covered by being a citizen. It's kind of a right. And the US is one of the only countries where you can go bankrupt, you can be in medical debt. And I think there's somewhere around like near 100 million Americans that have medical debt. It's a lot. It's a lot. And to think that you get sick, you have a medical issue, and then you go in debt by medical debt, it's crazy. It's crazy to think you get sick and you can't pay your bills, and then you have medical debt. It's kind of wrong per se. And they just made a major ruling here. I've shown this before. I want to show this again because a lot of people don't even realize this. Here's two major headlines here from CNBC. Your medical debt may no longer hurt your credit score. Here's why. Medical debt will start falling off credit reports this summer. Not all, but the vast majority of it. I don't know the intricate details of how they're going to determine what and who, but I know the vast majority of medical debt will fall off of credit reports starting this summer. So they're really starting to change the way a lot of medical debt and student loan debt. In fact, the vast majority of people with student loans are going to get a fresh start and not even be delinquent anymore here starting soon here as well. So you're not even going to be considered delinquent here based on a new ruling that they just kind of said. I'll keep you up to date here as well. But you can also see this headline here. Most medical debt is coming off credit reports. Here's what to do if yours doesn't. This really kind of isn't, this is going to be starting here. It might be starting here in effect really soon here. But this is a really good thing because, like I said, there's almost 100 million people that are in medical debt, or at least some capacity, whether it's a couple hundred dollars, or thousands of dollars. And medical debt is one of those things that's hard to get forgiven, or even through a bankruptcy. And the same thing with student loan debt. The problem with student loan debt is people go to college, and now college is like $100,000 for a 4-year degree at some places. It's just insane. And you go to pay on it, and I love showing this little image I have here because it really tells the story if you don't realize this. Just from this random guy I seen on Twitter, he says, I'm 27 years old. I have $120,000 in debt from an undergraduate degree. So again, his school costs $120,000. And again, that's, if you go to a major college, not even like Harvard or anything, just like a regular major college, that's kind of what it costs nowadays. He says he's been paying almost $1,000 a month for 5 years, $970 a month for 5 years. And of the nearly $60,000 he's paid in 5 years, only $2,000 of that has gone towards his loan, has gone towards principal. So of nearly $60,000 he's paid towards the loan, $58,000 of that roughly has gone to interest, and only $2,000 of that has gone to principal. I ask again, how is this even legal? This is the problem people have with student loans and canceling student debt. This is the problem, is that people are paying on this. They're being responsible with their student loans. They're paying on it, but it's for some people and a lot of people, it's impossible to get out of it. This is why you hear so many stories of people that are paying on their student loans 30 years later or more. They're paying on their student loans in retirement. They can't get out of it. They can't get out of it. This guy's paid $60,000 in student loan payments, and only $2,000 of it has gone to principal. He has $120,000 in student loan debt. Only $2,000 of it has gone to principal. How is this guy ever going to pay off his debt? And even with $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, it's only going to help him a tiny bit, to be honest. So this is the problem here with student loan debt, and this is one of the reasons why they want to cancel student loan debt. Now, don't get me wrong, me and my wife don't have any student loan debt. In fact, we already paid off my wife's student loans, so I actually am getting no benefit from this. In fact, I could be one of the people that would be mad over this because we're not getting any help on this, and we already paid off her student loan. So I could be totally mad about this, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it as anybody who needs help, I am happy for. And I'm happy for people that are getting extra SNAP benefits. I'm happy for everybody that is getting that we've gotten 3 stimulus checks, and I hope there's a 4th one. I'm happy for the people that are getting state stimulus checks, and I'm happy for all the states that are doing state stimulus checks. And I hope that more states are going to continue to do state stimulus checks. I'm happy for the extra SNAP benefits. I'm happy for the rent assistance, the mortgage assistance, the utility assistance. I hope they continue to do that. I'm happy for all these additional benefits. I'm happy for the Paycheck Protection Program and the unemployment benefits. I'm happy for the that new program I just discussed that was for seniors for food assistance benefits. I'll link you to that if you didn't see that. That's a really good video. I got a lot of good comments on that of people that didn't even know about that are signing up for that now. I'm happy for student loan forgiveness, even though I'm not going to benefit from it, and we already paid off my wife's student loans. I'm very thankful for 40 million people that are going to get that extra stimulus type benefit. And I personally, that's how I look at life. I want to I don't, I mean, I'm not helping. I've given away thousands of dollars on this channel, but during this pandemic, during this time of need where 64% of people are behind on bills, this is basically a stimulus check to 40 million people. I mean, it really is because it's giving them money. Okay. So think about all these, and also they're talking about excluding people that are wealthy in this, just like stimulus checks have. So think about it. This is basically a stimulus check for 40 million people. And also, I think that going forward, that there might be benefits for people who didn't get this. Okay, and think about it. There's SNAP benefits for people going on here right now, and there's state stimulus checks going on here for people right now. There's all these different programs: rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance. This new senior food benefit program that we talk about. The more programs we have that can help people, the better. And I'm happy that there are these programs. A lot of these programs wouldn't exist if we weren't in this pandemic that was just extended here for 90 days. I hope that they continue to do this. And that's just my outlook on things. So I hope that we continue to have more programs like this, even though I'm not going to benefit from student loan forgiveness. I'm very thankful that there is, hopefully it goes through, that there is going to be 40 million people that do. And honestly, um, it's just the government that's not going to get this money. It's and if anything, this will be money that these people can go out and support their local communities with. If anything, this will kind of give our economy a boost because they'll actually have a little bit of extra money that they can go out and spend. If anything, it'll help prop up our economy as opposed to giving it to the government. So remember, the government already runs a deficit anyway, so it's not like it's taxpayer money, because the taxpayer money is all spent anyways. The government already spends all the taxpayer money. All the money that the taxpayers send in to the government is already spent. The government already runs a deficit anyway. So all the taxpayer money is already spent. So if anything, it's not, if you really kind of understand economics, all the taxpayer money is already spent to begin with. So if anything, just like stimulus checks, again, same thing. You know, all the government money is already spent. All the taxpayer money is already spent. So I want to continue to see more and more people helped. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Hopefully, we'll continue to see more and more programs like this, and I will continue with the updates and let you know everything going on here in our country. So make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest video next. This video over here is that senior food benefit program that a lot of people really liked. If you didn't know about this, click on that video next. And this video over here is a newest stimulus check video here that's really good as well. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.